Welcome to the Shelf Examination Podcast, where we examine items found on the shelf of our local library. I'm Joe, the Makerspace Director at the libraries in Southern Utah.
And I'm Sarah. I am the reference librarian here in the Hurricane branch of the St. George Library System here in Utah, and the guru of all things geeky.
Yeah, and how you doing, Sarah? It has been a while.
It has been a while. I got super sick.
Oh my goodness, are you okay now?
Yeah, well, first I got the rhinovirus because I went to Level Up Expo in Las Vegas, which has 50,000 people.
I mean, that's every time you go out in public, you run the risk of
You
getting sick.
You do, and I usually don't get the con plague, but this time, because I was volunteering, I was working at the Cosplay Repair Station, which is a booth that's put together with every sewing and crafting thing you can come up with, and if something goes wrong with your costume, we're there to fix it for free.
That is awesome.
I can't tell you how many shoes I repaired and bodysuits I stitched back up. But
you now, as a maker, I am guessing you have an enviable maker station, just a pile of hot glue guns and all kinds of stuff.
We went through 300 sticks of hot glue in 3 days.
Super
glue.
That does not surprise me.
We went through so many cans of got to be glued hairspray for the wigs. We had a steamer. We had sewing machines. I broke 3 hand sewing needles fixing things. But someone decided to come to a convention of 50,000 people with my doctor described as highly contagious and extremely tenacious version of the rhinovirus.
Well, I
got quarantined for 5 days. It was so bad. But then
five paid days of time off.
But it used up my PTO.
Oh well.
But that's okay. And then
that's what it's for.
I after I got over that, summer reading started, which is great. Go to your library and check out the summer reading programs. It's for 0 to 150.
It's always funny to me to hear people in different areas talk about the summer reading. This seems like a universally understood thing that all libraries do.
They do it. I know librarians in Europe that do it.
Yeah.
In England.
That's
crazy.
That doesn't surprise me, even though I had never heard it before. But yeah, I don't know what it is about libraries and librarians, and the idea of summer reading has spread throughout us, and it's great.
It started out when a lot of different big name universities from around the world did a study, and they found that when kids were on long breaks, whether it was summer in America or whatever break the kids are on, because a lot of the other countries have different break systems.
Right.
But when they're on a break longer than about 3 weeks, they tend to lose reading and math skills because they're not practicing them.
Interesting.
So in order to combat that, libraries developed the summer reading program to encourage kids to keep reading so they don't have what they call the summer slump.
Now, what we need is a summer math program. That has not taken off for some reason.
No,
I don't know
not
why.
really. I can't imagine why. But we give, then libraries give out prizes and all sorts of things. And we even have an adult summer reading program here in our county. Not all counties do. Our systems do, but we have one for adults too that we try and make as
most adults
possible.
Don't get a break.
I know. That's why we try not to overstress the adults because they've got kids, they've got jobs, they've got all kinds of things. Unless you're a teacher.
It's an option.
And it's funny. The joke in libraries goes, the biggest difference between school librarians and public librarians is school librarians can't wait for summer to start and public librarians can't wait for summer to end because we're so busy. But after I got super sick and then summer reading started, and then one of our smaller patrons decided to share pink eye with the staff.
Oh, man.
So, fortunately, mine
this is what you get when you're out in the public and you're letting people touch your stuff.
Well, yeah, and then they bring it back, and we don't know they've been sick because they haven't been informed.
Yeah.
So we don't know those things, and so we touch all the lovely things, and we have the little kids, wipe their noses and then touch our things. But, it's what happens when you deal with children.
And you know what? They're so cute most of the time.
Most of the time, except when they're guardian macho. But, so fortunately it was bacterial, so we all had drops, and we moved on, but it was uncomfortable. So these are my excuses as to why I haven't been around.
Yep. Well, and there were a couple of weeks there where I wasn't able to do it because I had much less dire reasons for
Well,
skipping out on
you
it.
were helping with your building system and
Yep,
everything else.
and we had family things as well. So, it's good to be back. But in the time in between, I have been working on this podcast, and it frustrates me because up until recently, this podcast has not appeared on my podcast reader.
Aww.
And so if I'm not seeing it, other people
Aren't
can't
gonna
be
see
seeing
it
it,
either.
right? But despite the fact that I have it listed on Apple, I have it listed on Amazon, I have it listed on all the places. And there was one place that people recommended me upload this podcast to. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. It's $15 a month to host it. And I'm like, I'm trying to do this for nothing.
Yeah, like you would in a library.
Like you would with library resource and stuff like that. Because my goal with this is to teach other people how to do this.
Right.
But they did allow you to upload one episode for free
To give it a shot.
to give it a shot. And wouldn't you know it, that's when it showed up on my feed. That's when it showed up on my
course.
reading app. So now I do know, and I'm going to have to play with this after this, but you can go to each podcast app and request that your feed be added to it manually. And so I do need to find out what the top podcast readers are and see if I can get my app, my podcast listed to them and see how difficult that is. Maybe it's worth $15 a month to a person to not do that.
Not have to do it.
Right? That's what you're paying for, is the convenience of not having to deal with that.
convenience fee.
And it's good to know that the option that I found exists, because this is going to be good information to pass along to people.
Absolutely.
But it's been educational. It's been a good time. I do need to spend more time editing the podcast, but I've also been running a Kickstarter in the meanwhile.
Oh, yes.
I like to do 3D printing design, and I like to
You
put
are
them
the
up on...
3D professor.
I am the 3D printing professor when I'm not doing this. And so I ran a Kickstarter, and it went well, and I had a good time.
Good.
And I've made basically D&D terrain that
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
build.
you showed that to me.
Yeah, and I've got little minis that go along with it, and it turned out I got a little robot. It's so,
Yeah, I
he's
walked
so
into
cool.
the makerspace where you're usually at in St. George, and you had some prototypes sitting around. I thought they were super cool.
They're so neat, and I'm getting a lot of good feedback for them. I am this close to putting that into the hands of the backers, but then even when I'm done with that, I have to make the second expansion for it because we hit those stretch goals. And the second expansion is basically
that's
going to be the
exciting.
Fire Swamp.
Oh, very cool.
So it's going to be a Fire Swamp set. and
ROUSs? I don't believe they exist.
Well, we're gonna have unusually sized rats and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And you can use those and combine them with the brick ruins that we've got to make. So it's been a fun. It's been
so
a fun
you
experience.
too can act out the Princess Bride.
Well, I don't know how the brick ruins would work with the Fire Swamp.
Well, they did have some like walls and things.
Were there ruins in the Fire Swamp?
Well, you just see random like broken bits of.
I'm gonna have to
wall.
watch it again because I don't remember that, but I believe it. I absolutely believe.
And it
that
could
that
just
would
be the
case.
set dresser going, "We need to throw something in."
Yeah, exactly.
Because they would never do that in a movie.
all of us nerds are going, what's the backstory here? Was there civilization in the Fire Swamp and then the Fire Swamp took over? What's happening? I do
The
want
lightning
to have,
sand got it.
I do want to have quests where players have to like, there's like a prison or something in the Fire Swamp, and they have to like choose which door to go into, but you have to go around it.
You have to have the popping noises. And
I'm playing with that idea. We'll see where it goes from there.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. In the meanwhile, though, we are still in the middle of our Kaiju review, and we have gone off the list again.
We did. We went off topic
Because,
these were too good to pass up.
I found
Oh my gosh.
I found a movie that I felt like we needed to watch for a couple of reasons.
Oh, I laughed so hard.
So we're reviewing King Kong
Escapes.
King Kong Escapes. Okay, first of all, there has been so much that I have learned about not just kaiju movies, but King Kong in general, There was a King Kong direct-to-video follow-up after that came out the same year as the original King Kong, Son of Kong.
Yeah, it was a Bijou.
1933.
Yeah, Bijou warm-up feature.
A Bijou warm-up feature, which, yeah, like I think you were telling me before this.
Yeah, people, you know, obviously you can't go direct-to-video because there was no video at the time.
No.
But we didn't even have TV, so people would go to get newsreels and things at the Bijou. And they called it the Bijou rather than the theater because you could go in for one ticket and sit in there all day and see something new the whole time. This is where Merry Melodies, Silly Symphonies, Looney Tunes all got their start.
You actually got to see
You had newsreels.
a little bit of this in Roger Rabbit. They're
Yes.
hiding out
Yes.
in the movie theater and watching a Goofy movie, and then the newsreel comes on after it, and they're just kind of hanging out in the theater all day long where nobody's going
newsreels
to
that
bother
you
them.
see featured, you know, film pieces from in documentaries for like World War II and things.
Yeah.
They're all from those newsreels.
Yeah.
That you would get at the Bijou. And then you would have a warm-up movie, which is usually a shorter one with a smaller budget, leading into your big movie.
Well, and they also had I love the old Flash Gordon serials with Buster Crab and the old Zorro serials. And all of those were part of that whole tradition.
Exactly. And they would do those just to get you to come back. So you would come for the movie, but stay for the short films, the series, those like TV series, the serials, and then that's where you'd go see Three Little Pigs. And funny thing with Disney's Three Little Pigs, more people came to see Three Little Pigs than the movie.
Well, it's that happens all the time.
Crazy.
I don't know if you know the video. Like what immediately came to my mind was the video game Portal.
Yep.
They put it bundled with all these other games because they were like, it'll just be a value add.
It's just a lie.
And it became the bigger part of the orange box.
The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie. It entered into our
But
zeitgeist.
they would send because they'd have different reels for all the different things. So the poor guy running the projector really had to run the projector, and so they would send reels on that weren't getting information, or if it was a newsreel and they had the new ones come in. But there were theaters that had the Three Little Pigs. They have like little dolls of the Three Little Pigs out front to say we're playing this, and they
as a draw-in to get people.
Yeah, they eventually put like beards on them because they'd been there so long because people kept coming to see.
Well,
it.
that was the other thing. A lot of times these movies, like you say, we didn't have home video or things like that, and so King Kong, the original King Kong movie,
it ran forever.
Yeah, they kept running that tape
They would
until it was so
and
thin.
Rerun it. It would go around the country and around the country and around the country. So when they did Son of Kong, they start to do double features at the Bijou.
But what's interesting to me is, one, I didn't know Son of Kong existed. It kind of flew under the radar.
Because it was kind of the what we would consider now the direct-to-video version.
Yes, and two, it featured not only a lot of the same cast, it was a literal sequel, literal continuation of the story.
The American things and
it also had the same special effects people. So this King Kong movie that was
it wasn't
famously
a guy in a suit.
No, it wasn't a guy in a suit. It was stop motion animation. Although it had a more heavy focus on. I have already watched this, but it had a more heavy focus on comedy.
Really?
And it was a little bit more slapstick, but it still had like brutal fights. So it was a weird juxtaposition.
Quite a dichotomy.
But the whole movie was based on Carl Denham, but it had the ship captain as well, and the chief of the tribe makes an appearance as well.
That's awesome.
But then there's a new damsel.
Well, you have to, because the other damsel ran off with the other guy.
Right, and then and Denning ends up with her at the end.
Well, of course.
And there's a couple of other characters that they've added to it as well.
So he becomes Handsome Stranger.
He becomes Handsome Stranger for the girl, and she is unabashedly throwing herself at him. It's a great character. She's fantastic, and
she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to show it.
I don't know why she wants him, but nevertheless, it was pretty good. The one thing about this movie, though, is, and you could tell this was into budget, because the original King Kong was about an hour and a half, 2 hours long, but
somewhere there.
It took like 15 minutes to get to the King Kong, okay, or at least to get to the island. This movie took 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was mostly people, less effects.
And it was only an hour long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
their special effects budget was a lot smaller.
which might be why it kind of flew under everybody's radar,
Right.
because we're like, do we need to revisit this? I think that it bears mentioning that it exists.
Yes, and it was having all the same type of special effects as the original King Kong, rather than the Japanese version.
But I don't think that we're going to put it on our list.
No, it was never an actual release as the main feature.
And so, fast forward, we get King Kong versus Godzilla, and we discussed the fact
Yes.
that movie
Was never supposed to
was
be.
never supposed to happen, but they thought that they had permission to do it, and that they took this script for Frankenstein versus Godzilla
Oh my
and
gosh.
just copied, replaced it in King Kong. And it was I think
I
let's
was
see.
entertained.
I put it at number 2 on our list because it was the first of the Suitmation
Yeah.
kaiju movies that I really enjoyed. It was silly and it was fun, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it didn't take
You
itself
put
seriously.
it
A
at
little
number
lower.
3 on
Yeah.
your list, and you kept the original Godzilla above it, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't terrible.
However, they were not allowed to make another
No.
one. Fast forward, and a little company called Rankin and Bass. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Oh yes.
They were famous for making, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, as well as a number of other stop-motion animations and hand-drawn animations.
Yes, they did The Hobbit and Return of the King.
Yes. Yeah. And
The
what was
animated one.
The animated one. I'm trying to remember the director who did that one. I want to say Banksy, but
No,
that's the
Bashki
wrong guy.
did Lord of the Rings. He's known for rotoscope,
Yes.
not the stop motion. Not
So
the
who did
animation.
it? Who did the hand-drawn? We'll have to look
Rankin
that
and
one up.
Bass.
And I don't know if it's going to even enter into it's not going to enter into this list, but
No.
maybe we'll review it in the future. Who knows? But
Movies
they
based on
did.
books,
They
wait.
did a King Kong animated series. They got the right to do a King Kong animated series, and I have been unable to
I
find
can't find it either.
any of this anywhere. I haven't found anybody who's
I found a lot
preserved
of
this
I found
anywhere.
a lot of references to it
and
but-
pictures of it.
Yes, but not
And
actually
it looks like Hanna-Barbera on a budget,
Rankin and Bass.
which Hanna-Barbera was already on a budget. Man,
Hey, boo boo.
yeah, but then they said, "Hey, this thing is taking off. We want to do
A movie.
a live-action movie, and let's get Toho to do the live-action part." So King Kong
the movie
came
that they
back.
weren't allowed to do.
Exactly,
Now they can do it.
and then they could do it. And so
And what do? They do King Kong Escapes.
So King Kong escapes. First of all, this movie.
my
Okay,
gosh.
I'm going to step back and say, tell me what you thought.
Well, first of all, I had a family reunion, and we had an evening where we were all bored out of our minds. So I brought it up on there because I had the disc. So I took it with me, and I put it on TV, and we had such a good time making fun of it. None of us could take it seriously. We were laughing so hard. I mean, we had to put the subtitles on because we were laughing too hard.
Okay, first of all, I love how it opens with a submarine, and we see our very American captain
Oh my gosh.
and our very American female lead and a Japanese second in command. And it is so clear. And I watch it in English, but it is so clear that everybody is being dubbed over.
Yeah.
Even the people
they're
who
speaking English.
their lips are moving English,
Yeah.
and they are being dubbed over, and I think they're being dubbed over by themselves.
Probably.
And I think that this was because this movie was released in Japan and America at the same time,
Yep.
and they wanted to have 2 audio tracks.
Yep. that
And
they could
so,
choose from.
yeah, so they just had to record the audio separately.
Yep.
And as a result, we get English actors being dubbed in English, but I'm
By
guessing
themselves.
in Japanese, they also had Japanese actors being dubbed in Japanese.
Yeah,
So
I
that
would
was
guess.
that was very, very interesting. I'm not opposed to it, but
No,
it
you
was
could tell
weird.
sometimes because they really hadn't nailed down dubbing at this point.
Yeah.
Even if you're dubbing yourself,
It's about
They
doing it
weren't-
over and
yeah.
over again until you get
till
the
you get it
timing and the
just right,
inflection
till you
right.
get
And
the
they didn't
lip
worry about
flaps
that. They were
right.
like,
No,
let's get it done.
No, so even though they're dubbing themselves, it's still just a hair off.
It also seemed to me, and I'm not sure about this, but it seemed to me like the Japanese first commander was speaking Japanese. And so the American actors were speaking English, and then the Japanese would speak in Japanese on set, and they would react to each other like they were speaking the languages that they were eventually going to be dubbed in. So they would. How weird would that acting have had to be?
I'm sure they would have to have all the translations for each other so they know exactly what they're saying.
And they did a really,
great
considering what they were acting against.
Oh my gosh.
It didn't enter my mind until I thought about the fact that, wait a second, he's American, he's Japanese, and he's going, yeah, Dude,
you don't have a clue what he's
Wow!
saying.
No, he played it well. It was cool.
No, they did a good job, especially as ridiculous as this movie was. The actors did really good with what they were handed.
Yeah. So we've established our heroes, and then we get to find the villain.
Dun, dun, dun.
The villain, Doctor Who. I mean, like, of course they weren't trying to be Doctor Who, but at this point in history...
Oh, no, we were all singing the Doctor Who theme. I tell you what, we're waiting for the TARDIS to go by. And...
Yeah, this is one of the evil regenerations. This was amazing.
See, no, it was actually the Master pretending to be the Doctor.
Well, no, the Doctor has, I mean, like, he's got the Valyard. He's got several bad regenerations in his future, so... But Doctor Who has created Mechanicong, which he created from drawings that the American captain made. But near as I can tell, the American captain never made drawings of a robot Kong.
No.
He made drawings
of actual Kong.
Of actual Kong, and Doctor Who stole those drawings and said...
just used those drawings for, like, ratio?
I can't figure it out. Like, everybody's going, oh, you stole my drawings. You didn't design a robot, dude. Let's give Doctor Who some credit. This is a heck of an achievement.
Right.
And he has created...
I still want to see his TARDIS.
He has created a Mecha Kong because he is trying to dig up Element X. So apparently he's not only Doctor Who, but he's also the creator of the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know. But this Element X is extremely radioactive, and nobody can get it except for his RoboKong because standard mining equipment won't work, but a giant robot monkey will.
And it has to be a monkey. I will say I kind of dug once this monkey started walking around. Oh my gosh.
That was kind of cool.
It was pretty awesome.
It was kind of neat. They had really good sets around that he was working off of.
And who was in the monkey suit?
Well, not in the
Robo
monkey
suit, regular one.
Because we do get to see King Kong.
Yes, we do.
For sure, inside of it is Mr. Haru Nakajima, who is the man who was inside Godzilla almost every single time.
Almost every movie. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So essentially, he got to get out of the Godzilla outfit and get into the King Kong outfit for this episode.
Maybe it breathed better.
It swam.
It did swim.
I was impressed at how wet they got this costume, and it just kept going.
Yeah, I mean, not like King Kong. It sunk like a rock.
It was
not
also
King Kong. I mean, Godzilla.
Godzilla. Yeah, every time he loses,
there
it
goes
was in
the
water. It was also funny, like in a couple of shots, it was obvious to see the zipper up King Kong's back too.
Well, you know what? At least this took place after the 1920s. I can't tell you how many historical movies I've watched, and it's just because I'm a costumer. I know this. But I see things that are supposed to be set in, like, the Renaissance or the medieval ages, and there's a zipper, and I'm like, those weren't invented until the 1920s! And it ruins the whole movie for me, and everyone thinks I'm a dork. But
well, I mean, you are, but it's a well-meaning dork.
It's like seeing Shmi Skywalker's... bobby pin sticking out of the back of her bun at the midnight showing of episode 1.
Hey, now that's just a stick. They could have figured that out a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
And I was like, oh my gosh, look at the bobby pin! And I announced it to the whole theater, and they all were like, where? But if you watch the videos, when they fixed it, they took the bobby pin sticking out.
They digitally removed a bobby pin. Let's bring back the bobby pin cut.
I want to see the bobby pin.
Sorry. So this movie was not good.
No, but it was hilarious.
But it was fun. I had so much fun with it.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 really needed... I don't know if they actually did an episode on it, but they should have.
I don't know if they did, but they didn't need to because we did the same thing. We all did the same thing. There were so many,
it's
so many
much
times
fun
that
to make fun of.
every member of my family found something to make fun of on this
Like
movie.
I said, we had to turn this. We were watching it in English originally, and we had to turn the
Subtitles on.
We had to put the subtitles on, so it was still in English because we were all laughing so loud. We had those of us who were trying to keep up with what I don't know.
So
but trying to keep up.
There's also some interesting factoids about this movie. So Doctor Who is being bankrolled by a mysterious nation. We never find out who this mysterious nation is, but they are being represented by a Japanese woman, except she's not Japanese and not Korean and not Chinese. And at one point, Carl Nelson,
Asian country,
right? At one point, Carl Nelson grabs her face and goes, "You're not Japanese. You're not Asian. You know, or Chinese, or not Korean. Who are you?" And she still joins his side after
I know.
that.
I was like, I would have smacked that dude and walked off.
Her turn doesn't really make sense to me, other than the fact that she's like, well, at least he's better than Doctor Who. That's got to be it. But she
Have you seen what happens to Doctor Who's companions? I mean, come on.
Well, no, most of them survive in some way.
In some way.
In some way. What was the name of this actress? Mia Hama?
Mm-hmm.
She was in Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh, really?
She was the girl who got picked up by King Kong and carried on top of that
Really?
2-story building.
I didn't realize that.
She goes down in history as the only non-blonde that King Kong went for.
That's awesome. No, I
But
didn't know
she's
that.
also in this movie in a lead role playing somebody completely different. It's
What
still
else is new?
No, this is not in the same continuity as the other movies.
Like, we are making fun of this. It is totally in its own universe.
I will say, when the T-Rex showed up, so when we finally get to the island and we see King Kong, and then a T-Rex shows up to fight, and I think the T-Rex shows up first. But my kids were like, "Oh, is this actually Godzilla versus King Kong?" And I'm like, "That's not Godzilla. That's Team U Godzilla. That is, we have Godzilla at home Godzilla. That is not Godzilla."
No, because they did establish that there were dinosaurs on Skull Island.
Yes.
They did establish that.
Except now it's not Skull Island.
No,
it's
now
Mondo
it's
Island.
Mondo Island, yes.
I don't know why.
But they did establish that because he had to fight the ankylosaur, that there are dinosaurs.
Was that it wasn't a T-Rex, it was an ankylosaur?
No. In the older ones.
Oh, okay.
So they have established that there are dinosaurs on that island. So he was that I was actually okay with. I was like, oh, another dinosaur. Cool.
Yeah, not a problem with it, but the fight was dumb.
It was so stupid.
Like King Kong comes rushing up at him. I'm calling it a T-Rex. I'm sure that some dinosaur, aficionado out there is like going, well, technically that's not. It probably isn't.
It was a plastic toy, is what it looked like.
It did. But he rears up on his back legs, kicks King Kong. King Kong, first time, recovers fast. Like that, I love that part where he just kind of does a backflip, then stands right up. He's like, okay, let's do this again. Runs at him again, kicks him again. This time doesn't recover as well. Runs at him again, kicks him again. Like, dude.
What is the definition of an idiot?
Dude.
If it didn't work the
You're
first time,
supposed to be the smart one.
It's not going to work the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time.
And so eventually he does get the upper hand. Eventually he kills the T-Rex.
And little arms.
Yeah, well, yeah, the T-Rex kept being like, I'm going to scratch you with the... Just, come over here, I'm going to tickle you.
Yeah.
Like, good grief.
I did. I had to meet the Robinsons and a big head and little arms. I don't think this plan was well thought out.
But eventually beats him. He's got him on the ground. And I'm like, is he going to do the jaw thing? And he doesn't do the jaw thing.
He didn't. You're crap.
And then what happens is later, like they're all running off. He takes another step and it turns out the T-Rex wasn't dead. He should have done the jaw thing.
I know. He was just knocked out.
But then he did eventually like rip the jaw open and it's all foaming and everything. And my kids were kind of disturbed by that. What's the foaming about? And I'm just like, he's washing his mouth out. I don't know.
It's to show what pain he's in.
Yeah. That's when one is in a lot of pain, one foams at the mouth, apparently.
Apparently he had rabies? I don't know.
Dino rabies.
Little, cold-blooded creatures can have rabies.
Yeah. There was the scene where they're briefing the media. Mm-hmm. And the woman, the Japanese woman goes up and says, why did King Kong treat her so nicely? And I can't believe they went there. Mm-hmm. He goes, the captain goes, well, I mean... King Kong's a man, and well, you could see.
I know. It was great. The guys were like, okay. And when we're watching it, they were like, okay. And the rest of us, the girls were all like, say what now?
I'm sorry. I was like, say what now? I'm like, listen, that's.
Out of all the girls everywhere, he picked that one because he's a man. Wait, what?
And the other thing is, like, if we're going to go with the, well, he's being driven by his male hormones. Again, monkey, but fine. And again, monkey going for human woman, but okay, fine,
Who's
never mind.
like a tenth his size.
Who's a tenth his size. I don't see how that's going to work. But,
Ow.
why? Immediately they're like,
It's always the blonde bombshell.
yeah, it's always the blonde.
Except the one girl.
But at this point, they're like, we need this blonde to be able to control Kong. I don't know. He might have Asian fever. Give it a shot, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people got things. People got a thing for Asian women. I think you got a 50-50 shot her, girl.
It could be British.
Could be British. Don't know. Yeah, why are we assuming that she's the only one who can... If that's their explanation, if their explanation is, well, he just likes women because he's a guy, we got other women.
Lots of women to choose from.
You know, just have another one show up there and I don't. It made no sense, and I was like, "This is the lowest part of possibly the lowest movie."
The eye rolls were audio. You could hear the eyes rolling when
people were throwing out their eye muscles rolling on this one. Oh man, it was so bad. So
but it was a great laugh.
It was. Doctor Who then takes King Kong and.
Yeah, and that's the part I didn't get. Got to make a giant monkey to do this. Got to make a giant monkey robot. Giant monkey robot. Giant monkey. Well, let's get the real monkey. Wait, I thought we had to have the robot because of the radiation.
I think the idea was the giant monkey is durable enough that he can withstand the radiation. So a giant monkey robot is the second best thing. But hey, if we can have the first best thing. I'm still not convinced that it's don't think about it too hard because it hurts.
Too late.
No kidding. And so they got King Kong, and they get King Kong by dropping ether. They identified it later as ether. Here's the problem that I have with this.
Just make him high.
Well, yeah, but either way, it'd be easier to deal with. But here's the problem that I got with it. Isn't he 60 foot tall?
Yeah.
So you got to drop enough ether.
Because ether sinks.
It does sink to fill up the air up to 60 feet tall, like hit him in the face. Wouldn't that be easier?
So you're just releasing it at the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's less efficient. But then he gets knocked out by the ether. He finally falls asleep. And I do love how...
Now, ether can make you fall asleep, but it's got to be concentrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
I do love... So they had very clearly a puppet for close-ups that they could do the full facial animation, and they used it very well and a lot. But then I love how when they went to the full body, he had to have a static face. They couldn't animate the face while we were in the full body suit. So basically, his eyes were closed before he even started to go down.
Yep.
He fell asleep on his feet. That was amazing. They put these, and then they go down to the ground, and everybody gets out of the ship, and none of them have gas masks on or rebreathers or nothing.
They're all like ether immune.
60 feet of ether, and it all cleared out. It just seems like a less efficient way to do things.
Yeah, I'm like, no, the rest of the island is going to get it.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Let's go visit there.
The next island over,
Wait, was that Hawaii? Sorry, Big Island.
He did point out on the map, Mondo Island was right here, and it seemed to me like it was some Micronesian island.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the Philippines, they had a really good day. And he takes King Kong, and he fits him with an earpiece, and this earpiece allows him to control King Kong using English commands. Already we had seen the girl speak to King Kong. Kong, do this thing. Put me down. No, it did. That was the thing after saying, but she was doing it full body and everything.
She was motioning. You can't see us doing it, but we're pointing at the ground. She was using her whole body to communicate this rather than just a little earpiece.
Right. And yet now King Kong is fully controllable using English, and it gets worse because this keeps happening throughout the movie.
I know.
Later on, when the
got
girl
worse.
shows up again, she speaks to King Kong in English, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And then at the end, she says, "Go get the ship," and he's like,
Okay.
"Not only do I understand what you're saying, I know what a ship is
Yeah,
too."
I know.
Like, we are going, and here's the problem. At this point, I'm going, "What the freak is this cartoon?" Oh yeah, this was a cartoon. I can't argue about the fact that we're working on cartoon logic because we are literally working on cartoon logic. Yeah.
And these cartoons were put out like in the Bijous, episodic serials.
Were they? I'm not sure. I think that this movie, this was 1968.
No, you're right. You're right. It was on TV.
1967.
It was on TV.
Yeah, this was
You're right. This
post,
was a TV one.
Yeah, this was
Post-TV.
way. Yeah, this was TV. This was home video. Well, no, it wasn't,
wasn't
home video.
yet.
Yeah, 1967, but it was on TV
It
quite
was
a
on
lot.
TV.
So yeah, this wasn't in that
You're right.
tradition, but they still had cartoons. They still had Saturday morning and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we get to King Kong goes down. Here's the thing that bugs me. He mines a bunch of this element
Yeah,
X.
he does.
Manages to get at a big chunk of it before it short circuits the earpiece and he escapes, which adds to the title roll credits. But King Kong does in fact escape in this movie.
So they didn't lie to us in the title.
They didn't lie to us in the title, so they got that going for him. He managed to dig out a whole bunch of it, and at no point was Doctor Who like, well, we ended up with a couple of tons of it at least. He's like,
call it
darn, we
good.
didn't get any of it. Why not?
Why not? It's right there.
It's right there. Go get it,
He
man.
literally pulled it out.
I would call, even with King Kong escaping,
that
I would
a
call
win.
this at least a win because the world has gone from mining 3 ounces of the stuff to several tons of it. You're going to
Ta-da.
retire in the Bahamas, man. You're fine.
Just let the monkey go back home.
Let the monkey go. We've done the job. But no, he takes the commander and the girl and the first. The girl at this point is not interested in the commander as much as she is the Japanese first officer.
Mm-hmm.
She's very clearly going for him.
Yes,
and
there was
that's
no
the
question
relationship.
there.
Here's the thing. A lot of times in these movies, we talk about the A story and the B story. The A
Right.
story being the monsters and the monster fighting, the B story being the
people.
humans. This movie did not
No, it
have a B
integrated.
story.
Yeah.
The humans had no story. We never explored their romance.
No,
we never
It was
explored their
like,
feelings.
oh, you can tell she likes him. That's nice.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Everything that they did was in service to the A story. And I am having a hard time deciding whether I like that or not.
It was different.
It was different. And if the whole point of these movies is the A story, having a B story that just services the A story, isn't that kind of the point?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it felt like it missed something.
Yeah, it kind of it broke the mold, but probably not in the best way.
Pauline, there is something about a human-centered story anchoring
Right.
the ridiculousness.
Right.
And this didn't have that. And I
No, so
kind
it's
of
just
missed it.
completely ridiculous. There was no
Cartoon logic, yes. But
there was a lot of Hollywood science going
they
on.
could have stepped it up just a little bit, and we could have had some time to explore the human side. Also, the not Japanese woman from the unknown Asian country,
Yes.
she is totally going for Captain Carl Nelson,
Big time.
and he is
Oblivious?
not oblivious, just extremely suspicious of her. Rightly so, I think.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time, again, there's another human relation that we
They just
never get to
didn't
explore.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you can see, oh, I like him. And he's like, I don't trust you.
Like-
but it doesn't say why or
No.
who or...
And now I'm going to turncoat on Doctor Who because I don't like him, I guess, and I like you more, I guess. But we're not going to explore that. It's just going to happen. It's something about this movie that I feel like is going to affect it in the rankings.
I gotta admit, I kind of missed the Mothra little fairy girls explaining things to me.
Honestly, yes. Yes.
I'm like, I want the little fairy girls to tell me what's going on.
This movie was largely an American production.
Yeah.
And as an American production, it didn't feel like it needed the explanation as much. Like it felt very culturally American, even though part of it takes place in Japan. It's still
there weren't colloquialisms that we didn't understand.
No, it
But
felt like it was for an American audience.
I wanted the little fairy girls to be like, and we're moving on here because we're going to skip over this. And
there was, and we barely mentioned him because he was barely in the movie. There was one villager on Mondo Island, an old Japanese guy who served only to show us how bad Doctor Who was.
Yeah.
Because when he comes running up to Doctor Who and says, hey, this is a bad idea, Doctor Who's like, yeah, no problem, and shoots him in cold blood. It was like, okay.
We're like, what?
Honestly, it kind of came out of nowhere. And it was like, wait, this is who Doctor Who... Okay, and I also got to mention, the guy who plays Doctor Who apparently was a big actor in Kamen Rider.
Oh, okay, he's a Kamen Rider. That makes sense.
Okay, but can I say this without sounding insensitive? Dude needed some dental work, and it was hard not to look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Kamen Rider, they're in suits with helmets.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he was one of the helmeted people or some other character in it, but at this time, he could have used some false teeth on the bottom. No
offense, but we've gotten pretty vain lately. Braces weren't even a big thing then.
You know what? You're not wrong. I am willing to accept that this is a failing on my part.
We have a very vain society.
Yeah.
But I noticed them too, and then moved on. I was like, oh, okay, and then forgot about them.
And then King Kong pulls down the mountain to help Carl Nelson and the girl and the first officer escape. Rips the thing off rips the door off of the hinge, or metal door off of the frame, pulls down a whole mountain, comes out of the mountain, and then swims to Japan. And then the Robo Monkey is brought to Japan to capture him. I guess that was Doctor Who's plan.
I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't very clear. They were to fight. That's all I knew.
And we get the showdown. We get the big showdown. And the Robo Monkey takes the girl and climbs up.
Mad.
Yeah. I love how, like, you could tell Kong was like, oh, you got it. You're going to get it now.
Yeah, bring it on, yeah.
Oh, one thing that we didn't mention, and it came out so much, but the voiceover for Doctor Who. Did you love that voice?
I loved that voice.
Did you recognize that voice? So if you know Santa Claus is Coming to Town,
yes.
There is a character in Santa Claus is Coming to Town named the Bergermeister Meister Bergermeister Meister Berger. And the whole time I was like, my plan is to take the toys from the little children.
The Bergermeister Meister Berger.
And so when, at one point, Robo-Kong looks down at King Kong, opens his mouth, and from speakers we hear, Kong, you'll do what I say. I'm like, man, he just Burgermeistered the robot. That was... It was awesome.
Oh my gosh,
it was
I hadn't realized that. That's amazing.
Yeah, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, Bergermeister Meister Berger coming out of Doctor Who's mouth. That was amazing. But then it comes out of the robot's mouth, and that was such a weird moment. But then, also another cool moment is, like, the robot drops the girl, and she falls for about 2 seconds, and then King Kong snatches her out of the air and doesn't break her neck, thank goodness.
Imagine that.
Cartoon logic again.
Yeah, don't we love it?
But that was kind of a neat moment where she was like, ah, and King Kong grabbed her. And then King Kong looks up at the robot, and he, like, puts her down. He's like, I got something to take care of, babe.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And then he goes up, and the worst kick fight ever.
I'm like, these are monkeys. Why are they kicking?
Yeah.
They'd be like swooping and swiping and...
To be fair, climbing in those suits could not have been easy.
No.
So they were doing some serious work in those suits. So I appreciate
lots of work in there, but the fight choreography was
terrible.
Was not good.
I would have
for what
liked
they were
to have seen King Kong swing around the other side, get on the same level, and then we could have some fist and grapples and stuff like that. But no,
that's how they would have done it.
It was robot monkey, kick monkey get above, monkey kick robot monkey. That's pretty much the whole fight.
And yeah, the whole time I'm like, they have little legs that are not very strong and great big arms. Why aren't they using them?
And baby hands.
That was
King
weird.
Kong had the smallest baby hands. Like, it was such a weird suit. It really was.
A really strange suit.
It was fun to watch. It was absolutely silly. And then at the end, Mechanic Kong gets to be the one that falls off the tower and hits. And King Kong gets to look at him and go, "Oh, that's what that looks like from the channel."
Better you than me.
For some reason,
did that.
For some reason, this seems very familiar. I also like the scene that follows after that, where King Kong is running down the dock, and they've got like a little remote control car. The little remote control cars and tanks and everything that they had.
Cool. Those were
kinda
cool.
neat. At one point, there was a dude who peeked out of the tank,
Popped up, little head popped up,
and then
peeked
popped
out.
back into it. I was like, these are complex for the 60s.
These are the guys who created R2D2 later, right?
Honestly,
No, they didn't. But
well, the
you'd
same
think.
sort of ingenuity went into it, though,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure. But yeah, here's a King Kong running down the dock, and they slowed down the camera so he looks big, and then he's got the little car. And despite the fact that I knew it was a radio controlled car next to a human-sized King Kong, it felt bigger.
It looked cool.
It was a good scene.
It looked cool.
And I liked it. And yeah, Kong, go destroy the ship. Yeah, I totally understand everything that you say, and I'm going to do what you say. And he goes, I love that the first thing he does, he goes swimming to the ship, and he kind of reaches under it, pulls out the rudder, and starts to use it to wreck the rest of the ship. I was like, that's brutal. That's so cool.
See, I gotta admit, because it was so silly, when he reached under the ship, I was like, is he gonna pop the plug out of it like
Yeah.
a kid's toy?
Sink it from the bottom. No, he
grabbed the
basically
rudder.
ripped its arm off and beat it to death with it. It was a pretty cool fight.
It was fun.
Overall,
Oh my gosh.
good movie?
No.
No.
Great
Fun movie.
time?
Great time.
I was greatly entertained.
I don't know if I can watch this movie with the same group again.
No.
But if I get an opportunity to watch this movie with a different group,
Now this is like it's
Dude,
like
pull it out.
watching.
We're gonna have a
it's
good
like
time.
when you're the only person in the room who has seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and you're watching it with a bunch of newbies. It's more fun to watch their faces
Yes.
than the movie. Now
Yes.
that you've seen it, so yeah, I would love to see it with new people and watch them watch it.
yes,
And I
it's
don't know if I
not
could
about,
watch the movie again by myself.
it's not bad. And the reason I actually bought this movie, I want it in my collection. Now this also came with King Kong versus Godzilla, which my family hasn't watched, and we're gonna watch that one together. And I hope that it's the American version, honestly, because
The Japanese one.
it's not that I don't like the Japanese one, but the American
No,
version
it
is the
was-
Japanese one plus.
Plus, yeah,
You
had
know,
a little bit more.
had a little
for
bit more.
us, Yeah.
And it also came with the Peter Jackson King Kong, which I already own, and it's we'll get to
It's
that
just
one. We'll get to
long.
that one. And it also came with King Kong, or not King, Godzilla King of All Monsters,
Oh, okay.
the new one.
Yeah.
Which was the second
The
in the
second
new.
one in the new series.
I'm like, why is that? That's a weird one to have a collection of. But now I got those 4 movies, and so.
It was just kind of a oddball kind of set. It sounds like.
Yeah, it was an oddball kind of set. I thought that when we ordered it, I thought that it had the original 1933 King Kong, but it was the Peter Jackson King Kong. And so I'm a little bit disappointed. I would love to have the original 1933 King Kong, and maybe I will one day.
There are some amazing moments in the new King Kong, and we'll cover it soon. But
We will.
it was not the same.
Well, let's
And it was
talk.
long.
It was. Yeah, let's save that. I have opinions already, but I haven't rewatched it to fine tune those opinions. Let's talk rankings. Okay, at
I
this
was
time,
greatly diverted. I liked it.
yeah, liked it, but how much did you like it?
was
Okay,
not great.
I want to know your thinking. So currently, your
Okay,
ranking
look at
has the
this.
1933 King Kong at the top, followed by the 1954 Godzilla, then King Kong versus Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
Mothra versus Godzilla, Rodan coming in at number 6, All Monsters Attack, Godzilla Raids Again. So
Yeah, this is a great list.
where do you want me to put King Kong Escapes on this list for you? It's okay. It's not going before King Kong 1933.
No,
I'll tell you that right now.
I was thinking right around Rodan.
Okay, here's the question: above or below Rodan? Now, I was thinking about
Rodan
this.
had some wow moments. It was really cool, but
Ro-
I wasn't as entertained.
Rodan was also that one where half of it good, half of it
not
bad.
good.
And here's a question: if we were splitting Rodan, would this movie go above the good part of Rodan, or
That's hard.
That's hard. But taking Rodan as its whole, do you want to
As
put
a
it
whole.
above or below Rodan?
Oh, is this quality of a movie or how much I liked it?
That is an excellent question, and I cannot answer that one for you.
Let's put it right below Rodan.
All
for
right,
me.
all right. I mean, overall,
I mean, I'm not going to put it at the end because as bad as it was so bad it was good.
yes,
It was so bad it was good.
it really was.
Like Rocky Horror Picture Show. So bad, it's good.
And here's the question. If you were wanting to watch a movie, but you only had Rodan and King Kong Escapes to watch again, which one would you watch again?
It depends on who I'm with.
Right? Okay, fair enough. Fair
If
enough.
it's just me, if I had a group that had never seen either of them before, it would be King Kong Escapes.
Okay.
If it was just me or people who'd both seen both of them,
I still might rather watch King Kong Escapes myself, honestly. I liked Rodan, but
it depends on if I'm in the mood for a laugh. Am
That's
I in
true.
for the mood for a laugh?
That's true.
It's definitely going to be King Kong Escapes.
So do you want me to move King Kong Escapes above Rodan
Put
for
it
you?
above Rodan.
All right, all right. I did. I'm not trying to influence
You've talked
you.
me into it. Well, I was so wishy-washy, wibbly-wobbly
So
on it
I'm
anyway.
actually considering more or less something similar but with different, because I put Rodan right at the bottom
You
of
put
this
it way at
list.
the end.
And I don't know if it really deserves to be there.
Now that you've
quite
seen more.
frankly, now that I've seen more. Well, and for some reason I put All Monsters Attack above it.
What?
Yeah, I should have. I feel like I should swap them, but I feel like I can't. Now that I've made, once the episode ends, I feel like I have to lock it
Stick
in.
to it.
So I'm deciding whether it goes above or below Godzilla Raids Again, or above or below Mothra versus Godzilla. So my list is King Kong 1933, King Kong versus Godzilla is my number 2, then Godzilla 1954. And I'll be honest, it's holding on there in the number 3 position, mostly because of its status, not because I like the movie, but being the first Suitmation Godzilla movie, I feel like it deserves a higher ranking.
Its provenance is what's keeping it there.
Correct, but I don't know. And then there's Mothra versus Godzilla, which right now at this moment I don't remember much about. But I put it at number 4, and then Godzilla Raids Again. Now, I do remember Godzilla Raids Again. Godzilla Raids Again sticks in my memory, and it's the one that, we had, what's his name, named on the Star Trek maneuver, the Kobayashi.
Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, we had Kobayashi, who ended up being the sacrifice in the end of that one. But Godzilla Raids Again was like a direct-to-video sequel.
It was another direct-to-video type sequel. Yeah, it's what it felt like anyway.
And did I enjoy it? I don't know. I'm gonna bump Godzilla Raids Again down. I'm gonna put King Kong Escapes before Godzilla Raids Again.
Because it was more entertaining.
It was, and here's the thing.
And memorable, because it was so bad.
I watched this one twice, and I immediately, I was like, I need to own this one, and I need to share this with my family. I have not done that with any other.
You're the one who told me, because it was harder to get a hold of. You're like, you need to see this. It is so crazy and ridiculous.
Yes.
We need to see this. I was
Yeah.
like, all right.
I almost feel like,
I'm
you know
glad you
what?
did.
Never mind. I'm bumping Mothra versus Godzilla. King Kong Escapes is going right below
Godzilla?
the original Godzilla for me. And I'll tell you the honest truth, it's knocking that one down too, because I feel like I need to spread the good word of King Kong Escapes. I don't know why this movie has influenced me to have to spread it to other people.
Let me spread my misery of ridiculous.
I will
Like the
not.
plague.
I will not put it above King Kong versus Godzilla. That movie was wonderful.
It was great.
It stands alone. I am going to make my kids watch that movie. King Kong versus
Your kids are going to think we're evil for watching
Oh no.
this film.
But King Kong versus Godzilla was a fun movie. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be King Kong Escapes because it was fun. King Kong versus Godzilla was fun and earnest. Mm-hmm. I'm not wanting to share King Kong versus Godzilla with my family because it's like, oh, this is so bad, it's good.
No,
King Kong versus Godzilla is so good, it's good.
Yes.
But King Kong Escapes, I have to share this
It was
with
like
people.
the other side of the coin.
Yeah. You know what? I'm moving it up.
Oh my goodness.
Godzilla is getting bumped down to my number 4 spot because King Kong Escapes was just so much stupid fun. I hate that I love it so much, but I love it so much. That's now my number 3, and this
love it.
this moment is going to live for the rest of my life in my
It's
head.
going to haunt you.
Yes, it is.
It's going to come back to bite you.
But the truth is, I'm going to be showing King Kong Escapes to people for the rest of my life.
Well, you own it now, so.
I own it now, and every time somebody is like, "Hey, what should we watch?" Hold on for a second. I'm going to set up a chair away, facing away from the TV,
I'm
just
gonna
watching them
you.
watch them.
You put on your 3D glasses and your popcorn.
Yeah, that's right. This movie is a movie that has to be shared and it has to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
And it's not one
You
that I
watch
regret.
it alone, and it's like, you okay?
But
But then you watch it with a group, and it's so much fun.
I watched it alone the first time, and I was like, Doctor Who? Are you kidding me? Giant robot monkey? Are you kidding me? Bergermeister Meister Berger? Hold on one second. And at this point, but watching it the second time, I was like, yeah, this wasn't as good as it felt the first time that I watched it, but they're having a good time. And so
Exactly.
it's a social thing.
Is so is. I mean, like I said, the Rocky Horror Picture Show where everyone goes to the theater and they bring the umbrella and the toast
Yes.
and the squirt guns and everything. It becomes a group thing.
I don't know if King Kong Escapes is ever going to achieve that level of infamy,
don't
and I
think it
don't think
is.
that it deserves it.
No, it
but
doesn't.
Once you have watched King Kong Escapes,
You want to spread that
you want to
joy
share it with somebody else.
so that you can say something ridiculous and they will know exactly what you're talking about.
It doesn't teach you any life lessons. It doesn't elevate you
And it
for
doesn't
watching it.
pretend to be.
And it doesn't pretend to be. But it wasn't bad.
No.
There were things about this movie that I really appreciated the effort that went into
Right.
it. Like
No,
I
I
said,
agree.
looking at
They did a lot trying to make the colossal size look right.
yeah, and the minis that they used and everything that they used, you could see a lifetime of Toho's experience being put on the screen for something that it didn't deserve.
Right?
But they put their heart and soul
But
into
they
it and
put
did
all
it.
into it as much as they could.
One thing that we didn't talk about, but that I noticed, is the Robo Godzilla. When he's walking down the mountain, he seemed to me more sure-footed than he should have been. Because that suit must have been really weird, but he was
So
never
heavy.
flopping around in it. And I
No.
realized what they did was they put him on a rope.
Yep.
They were pulling him from above while he was walking around so that he could keep his balance. That's cleverness. And it worked
Lot
to
of
make that
problem solving.
robot look like a robot
Yeah.
as it was walking around and not look like a dude trying to fight a suit to walk around
And,
in.
gravity getting the best of him.
And gravity it was
No,
good.
there was a lot of problem solving involved.
It was a good movie. It was a movie that I respect, and a movie that shouldn't have existed.
Nope. But it does.
Toho was not supposed
They
to
were
get
in so much
Godzilla
trouble,
again,
and then
or King Kong again.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to get King Kong.
They weren't supposed to get King Kong
And
again, but then
the
they found a
cartoon- they
loophole. And here we are with, quite frankly, the absolute joy of King Kong Escapes.
This movie was all the ridiculousness you'd ever want from a kaiju movie without the melodrama.
Yeah. So we are at this point. The next movie in our list that is available in our collection, keeping in mind that is our limiting factor. We're not watching every single one of these.
There are so many.
I had no idea the level of
So
so many
many.
that there were. Oh, I will mention there was one movie that came before All Monsters Attack, which I did actually sit down and watch, and it was Godzilla versus All Monsters, I think. And it was supposed to be the last Godzilla movie.
See how long that lasted.
Well, and then they made All Monsters Attack, which was like, we need one more for the kids, and they reused a bunch of old footage. But this one was solid and earnest, but it also felt like an end to the Godzilla story,
Right.
because at this point they had basically tamed all the monsters.
Okay.
All the monsters were living on Monster Island, and they had natural deterrents to keep them on Monster Island. It was a situation where the only thing that they could do to make a story is some outside influence, which in this case ended up being aliens, because aliens show up to take over the monsters and make them break out of and destroy
See,
things.
at first I was thinking Jurassic Park, and then you said aliens.
Of course we're talking aliens. It's King Kong. There are always aliens in King Kong. Or Godzilla. Godzilla.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and then at the end they put them all back on Monster Island and everything's happy, and it's like how many times can we redo this? We're done.
Yeah, right.
We've
We're
hit
done?
homeostasis at this point. However, the next movie that we are going to do, and I know that you're excited for this one, is Terror of Mecha Godzilla. We are bringing in the Robo Godzilla for this one from 1975. I do think it's interesting. Now that I know that King Kong Escapes existed in 1968, that the Robo King Kong came before the Robo Godzilla.
Yeah.
I had always known of the Robo Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
The Robo King Kong, nobody ever talked about, but turns out he was first.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And then after apparently the spectacular success of King Kong Escapes, they were like, hey, we should do a Robo Godzilla now.
Oh, it's so funny. No, I have to say, Ready Player One came out in theaters, and he says, he turns into Mecha Godzilla, and I was probably the only person in the theater who was like, Mecha Godzilla! And then the kid's like, I choose Gundam, and I was like, Gundam! And everyone in the theater was like, you are a crazy lady, sit down!
That movie was made for all the references, but it was made for all the references for you.
I know, right? I got them all.
So we're gonna get to watch Terror of Mechagodzilla this upcoming week, and we will get back together and talk about what we thought of Terror of Mechagodzilla. I know you're excited for them. It's gonna be for me the first time I've ever watched this movie. Well, not so much ever, but definitely first time that I've watched it from beginning to end.
First Godzilla movie I saw and remembered it, instead of just bits and pieces as a kid.
Yeah.
So
which we watched it on TV whenever it came on.
Yeah, exactly, because we didn't have these lovely streaming things, and you're like,
Yeah,
if you like
yeah.
this, and put it on. You just had to.
Well, and
grab it when you
VHS
could.
was barely a thing.
Barely a thing.
You know.
We had a VHS player, VCR, that had it was one of the very first ones with remote controls, and it had a 9-foot cable that plugged into it, and it was fun because I kept trying to play jump rope with it, and my parents would get so mad at me.
Don't break that TV was expensive. We spent
VCR
3
was
montes.
expensive.
Yeah,
Holy
no kidding.
smokes! And that VCR still works because they were built like bricks.
No, technology has one of two categories that it exists in. It either runs forever or it breaks the day after. Like,
Well,
there is no in between.
You have the first couple series that they built.
Yeah.
To prove, proof of concept.
Yeah.
And they live forever.
Yeah.
And
then
you
they
have
hit the race to the
built-in
bottom.
You have built-in attrition, so
Yeah.
that you have to continue to buy new ones.
Yeah, there's a whole discussion we could have about
Economics.
yeah, and planned obsolescence and stuff like that. I think part of that is just they were building them cheaper. And part of building them cheaper is that they're cheaper in every way. They
Exactly.
fall apart more. It's not necessarily that they're forcing people to buy it more often, but that is a side effect that they don't argue too much about.
Not really, no. Well, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Joe.
and we would like to invite you to do some shelf examination of your own at your local library. Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll see you next time.